Two irrevocably hostile humanoids.
This is the Talking Dicks, the video podcast that we do during the pandemic from the series The Two Dicks. I'm Al Romas in Tampa. That's Al Ducharme in Studio City. He's manscaping. I don't know what he's doing now.
I lost my tip.
Oh, that was a prop. You had that ready to go. You were ready. You had pre-written material.
I'm prepared.
You put some effort in.
That was from the last episode. I never got to it. I was going to talk about my manscaping adventures.
Do you manscape?
I do. Just in case,
really?
Just in case my neighbor comes on over, and I'm prepared.
Well, we talked about we were talking about this with Tom Cotter with Cotter with what's going on down there with people nowadays, and
we're going to skip it today.
I didn't really
want
to get it. I didn't want to get into it again. That's all I'm saying. If you want to hear about that, check out the Tom Cotter interview. It goes into that. But I've not gone into the manscaping. I don't really need it. I don't think I'm that crazy, hairy. But
so your nickname is Gorilla in the Mist. All right, let's move on. You said you didn't want to talk about manscaping, and then you admit that you never got into it. I just bought a new manscaping razor. It's supposed to be safe for south of the belt buckle, because I was using this other chainsaw, and I'd come out a bloody mess. I don't
bother with any of that. I'm not shaving.
Do you trim?
That's more of a personal question. I'll leave that for my.
He brought it up. All right.
No, I didn't bring it up. You brought up the prop, the joke,
and I was done with it. And then you said I never do get into the manscaping. But
it's true. I don't.
Okay. Now we know.
Yeah.
I'm 1/3 Portuguese, so I gotta keep up on it.
1/3.
About a third.
And what else?
French,
we got
Irish. So the Irish too. Yeah, French and Irish and Portuguese. Yep.
And Ducharme.
That's French. French Canadian. My grandparents migrated from Canada.
And what is the meaning of Ducharme?
Of charm.
Right into your act.
Of charm.
Yeah, right into your act. Didn't you open with that?
Yes.
Wasn't that your opening line?
Yes, I said I started using my grandmother's maiden name, Ducharme, which means of charm. So it's Al of Charm. I had to change it because my real last name, Al-Qaeda, is difficult to travel with.
There you go.
Something like that. That's the gist of it.
Like riding a bike. Came all back to you, man. Came back to you. Speaking of that, I'm going to, tomorrow night, I'm going to go see Helen Keeney perform stand-up comedy.
We love our Helen. She's super funny, talented. She's been on a couple of episodes of The Talking Dicks and 2 episodes of The Two Dicks.
Yeah, I'm going to go down. She's going to be at a club, Punkies, I believe is the name. Punkies in St. Petersburg, Florida.
You got Snappers, Punkies. What was the name of the restaurants that you guys are doing there? The chain of restaurants. There was a restaurant that she was performing in. It had a funky, funny name. It's on another episode. You guys mentioned it.
Chill.
Yeah.
I did a show that I took over. Did that? No, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go and I'm going to sit in the crowd and see the comedy stylings of Helen Keeney Saturday night.
So you're going for support, and if they ask you to do a guest set, would you do one?
Oh, I don't know. A guest set. I'm not prepared. I don't know what I would do. I don't know. I don't know if I have anything ready.
I'm nervous. Oh, do you want to bring my razor?
Yes. If you insist, maybe I could do a minute or two. I don't know, but no, I would hope. I would just want to sit in the crowd and have a beer and watch. I think Helen's doing it like a crowd work show.
Oh, okay.
So she's going to be doing a crowd work thing, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, it should be good.
Oh, very exciting.
Yeah, always got to support friend of the shows. Anyone that we work with or know, if we're in town and odds are I would never be able to go see her. I mean, she's done a lot of shows where she goes, hey, if you're in town, I'm always like, nope, I'm out of town. But because of COVID.
Dun, dun, dun. Get it off of me!
We are in town. Mm-hmm. By the way, what number episode is this, sir?
I'm afraid to say, because the guy with the deep voice will come on and correct me.
Yeah.
I believe this is number 47.
It's volume, not number, volume 47.
47 goddamn episodes. Look at that.
You idiot. It's volume, not episode.
Yeah.
We're almost.
3 away from 50. Oh, by the way,
50.
Al said that he was going to pull the plug on the Talking Dicks if we didn't get 50 likes by Friday, which is this episode. Today. So it's true, though. We're doing all right. Because we have it listed on a few different platforms. Together, the likes together have already reached 50.
Oh, yeah. We're over 50. We're good. But that's pretty good. You think of just starting out during a pandemic back in March, probably, end of March, and now we're going to be hitting the 50 mark, 50 episodes.
50 episodes
of
this.
Something,
we have...
something special.
Do we have 16 episodes of The Two Dicks?
10,
including Alligator Dicks, which was our bomb.
Yeah, I think we're around 16.
Uh-huh.
Good. And then we've got 3 interviews.
We actually have 5 interviews. We had Bernadette Pauly, Artie Januario, we had Jimmy Carroll, Helen Keeney twice, Pat Godwin,
Simeon Kirklees.
Oh, Simeon Kirklees
from Royal Caribbean, and God, we've had a bunch, and a lot going on in this 6 months.
We've actually done
incredible
50 podcasts,
right?
Because we had 3 private Patreon episodes, 30-minute interviews. Yep.
Yeah.
So technically, we've done 50, but for the free ones to you, that's coming up. We get 3.
So this is 47,
and 3 more.
Another week we'll be hitting it. Yeah, we'll have to do something.
We'll have to have a special episode.
Special, very special episode. And speaking of special episodes, sir, you know what time it is?
Questions.
Well,
that is correct, sir.
Now, you've seen these questions in advance. These are all brand new to me. He doesn't send me notes, emails, texts. I'm answering right out of the gate. Here's the thing. When I answer these questions and then I see it later because I'm editing, I'm like, oh, that's not what I wanted to say. But it's in the moment.
It's in the moment. Come on. I don't want to send it to you in advance. That would be, we don't want to do that. Let's keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. Well, if you have this question, what I did was I put on questions on the Facebook, my Facebook story. So people wrote in on that. Oh. And it's also on Instagram, 2 Dicks, the number 2. And how else can you get a hold of us?
Twitter.
I think Facebook, Instagram.
You can direct message.
Twitter. And YouTube. Our videos on the old YouTube. Check them out on YouTube. Subscribe.
We have 857 followers on Facebook. If we can get half of them to migrate to YouTube, that's going to make us feel a lot better and make us be more creative, like we're doing something, and we'll get more content out there.
That's how it works, You give, we give, you know how it works. Anyway, here we go. Got a question, and this one, this is a good question. I mean, it's not a great question, but it's good to see. This is.
No wonder why they're not asking questions. People are reluctant because it's not a great question at all. It sucks.
Well, it's not. It's not a good question. You'll see what I'm saying in a second. But it's from the comedian John Bazar.
Oh, Johnny Bazar.
John Bazar. Yeah, from Vegas. Husband to comedian Nancy Ryan. Great Nancy Ryan, who was one of our first fans, in a sense. We did our first episode, S1, E1, put it on Facebook, and then I remember Nancy wrote me a message just saying she enjoyed it, and, it was very encouraging.
The interrogation.
So she's always been... The interrogation, and John and Nancy, they bought a mug and coaster, and they've been
very
good,
supportive.
good
and I've been a fan of John's, of course Nancy as well, but I've been a fan of John's and his stand-up from the very beginning of me doing stand-up. I would go down to my local comedy club where I was doing open mics at Periwinkle's in Providence, Rhode Island, and John Bazaar was awesome. He was just killing it. And when he came back to town a year later, I made sure that I was down there. Actually, I think I hosted that weekend. Great.
What was this? You would run to the club?
I would run to the club.
You didn't have a car?
Well, I'd take the bat pole, and then I'd run like Robin with my yellow cape.
Yeah.
Robin had a yellow cape, right?
Sir. I believe so, yes.
Red shirt, yellow cape.
I remember just starting in comedy, and then when I would go back to New York, I always saw that picture of John Bazaar where he had the boom box, the big. He had a big pair of pants, a giant sized pair of pants. But I was like, this guy, I don't know who he is. This guy works more than any comedian I've ever seen because he's everywhere.
And he was branding himself. He stood out. Yeah. He didn't look like anybody else, right? So he's boombox. You said that's that guy. He's so bizarre. What's his name? John Bazaar. So he was really putting himself outside of the herd.
Always working. Funny guy, but every time I went somewhere, it was like he was either there the week before, or he was coming. It was good to see. Anyway, he writes in. He's from Vegas, where he and Nancy reside. They have some good Instagram stories too. If you haven't seen Nancy Ryan or John Bazaar, check out their Instagram story. Nancy's a lot of food, a lot of Vegas, it's good stuff. And John's very artsy with music. He times it well with what's happening in Vegas. Both of them, I'm sure they do it together. And good stuff on that. Follow him. But here's John's question. You'll see why. It's not the best question. But do you guys know why Scrappy Doo's head was so big? Or is this weed better than I thought?
This is a great question, John.
Now it all makes sense, doesn't it?
You did that on purpose. He's trying to trip us up. He's trying to provoke us. He's trying to provoke thought.
Well, I without looking, I kept thinking. I go, who's Scrappy Doo? Who the goddamn who? That was Scooby Doo's son. Am I wrong on that?
Yes,
son?
I think he was the younger dog in the Scooby Doo. Scrappy Doo, yeah.
Scrappy Doo had Scooby's son.
He was like a large, not like Down syndrome head, but it was bigger than
very large
right. for a puppy.
Scrappy Doo time or dude. Scrappy
But what
Doo.
was the question? I'm sorry.
Well, he writes, do you guys know why Scrappy Doo's head was so big? Or is this weed better than I thought?
The weed is better than you thought. I'd like to say that I knew at one time, but I've long forgotten. And that's where the weed comes in handy, because people say if you smoke too much pot, you'll forget. But actually, when you're high, it makes you think about things you haven't thought about in years. Do you have an answer?
Thank you, Alfred. No, I assume the weed's good, and I'll go with that. I don't know. I'm not a weed guy. I enjoy a cocktail on occasion, but I'm not a weed per se guy. Been years. Been a long time. Long time since I've smoked a weed. What's that? What's happening? Cocktail? A little cocktail?
Yeah, you're having a cocktail. What's in your cup?
Hot Joe, sir.
Right, just checking.
Look at that.
Wow, you really do.
Hot Joseph. All right, we got another question. We got two questions.
Dos questiones.
Or are we close to time and save it? Because sometimes we don't have a question.
We are right at the edge. We could get the question in, answer it quickly, and go.
All right, because it wouldn't be better to have one in the bullpen. You know what I'm saying?
That's our show for today.
Why don't we do that? We'll tease them because sometimes we don't. It would be good. Then we get another one next, and then we have always one waiting on deck, as they say, in case Ducharme doesn't bring it one episode. And I gotta bail.
Meaning I've brought it every episode so far.
Every one so far, so it's been impressive.
Oh, good, because I think I'm seeing a red flashing battery light too. So this is good thing. Hey, go to our website. You can purchase some merch if you want to keep us going. You can join our Patreon at patreon.com/slapstick. //the two dicks. And if you're a member, you can support artists like us, and we'll bring you lots of content.
I'm going over there. Oh my
God. Subscribe.
Mary.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money.